Okay, this is a level check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. All right, starting up the other platforms. Okay, level check. Meteorologist Steve Horstmeyer in the streaming center at Fox 19. Less than a minute before the 7:15 live streaming weather show. And I tell you what, weather is looking hot and sticky tomorrow. That heat index is going to be right back up there over the 100-degree mark in many, many locations around the tri-state. Coming up in less than a minute. Hi everyone, meteorologist Steve Horstmeyer. It's 7:15, time for the First Alert Live 7:15 streaming weather show. We're going to start off by looking at a time lapse from Newport on the Levee. We start at 5 a.m. here and we'll show you what your day looked like. Okay, as we get the cloud cover from this morning, goes away, blue sky, then right on cue the cumulus form as the day heats up right there, and you can see them moving off to the south. We had a fresh northerly breeze today. So the humidity not quite so high, the temperature not quite so high, and a pretty nice day around the tri-state, actually not that far from normal. And there you see, as of 7:15, a few clouds left over, and those clouds look dark because of the angle of the sun coming through the clouds. But overall, we've got a dry evening and a dry night ahead in the tri-state. So what we're looking at here is for Tuesday, for the rest of today and tomorrow, heat index values above or near 100 degrees. Didn't quite make it today. A few of those special microclimates got close, but tomorrow is a much, much different story, and I'll convince you of that coming up when I show you what's going on to our south and west. So temperatures right now meaning as of 7 o'clock when they were observed, 84 at Lunken Airport in Cincinnati, 87 at CVG, 86 in Middletown, Hamilton at 87. When you look at the heat index values, okay, the heat index values are 90 in Vivi, CVG's at 90, 92 in Batesville, 90 at Lunken Airport, Lebanon's at 92, Hamilton at 90, everybody else in the 80s, okay? So not quite, I mean, this is not that far from normal. The heat and humidity didn't come back as quickly as it looked like it would, but temperature change is showing you something here. Now, what we want to look at is that off to the east, it's still cooler than normal in Wilmington, Hillsborough, Lebanon, and Lunken. Not cooler than normal, cooler than the last 24 hours. And off to the west, it's already 2 to 3 to 4 degrees warmer than it was at this time yesterday. And that's the warm air moving into the tri-state. It's going to bring us that steamy, steamy day during the day tomorrow. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at some regional temperatures. Notice it's 87 at Lunken Airport, 90 in Louisville, 92 in Evansville. Now, if you look at the heat index values, the heat index in Evansville is 101. It peaked there at 103 earlier, and that's the air that is coming our way. Now, if you go farther south and west from Evansville, you go over to, let's say, Jonesboro, Arkansas. They had a heat index peak at 110 today. In Cape Girardeau, Missouri, which is kind of right down there in that boot heel of Missouri, peaked at 105. And that's the air that's streaming north and eastward on into the tri-state. So 10-day temperature trend, though, is looking like this. Notice it doesn't look that bad. Tomorrow is the hottest day with a high of 91 and the heat index values at or over 100 degrees. We drop down to right about normal, maybe a little bit above normal, but for the 5 days after that through Sunday, temperatures not far from normal and humidity a little bit lower. Sunday brings another cold front. So what happens here, cold front comes through Wednesday, drops the temperature and the humidity a little bit. A stronger cold front is coming through on Sunday. That's going to drop the temperature and humidity even more. Look at this, a high on Monday of 78, then low 80s for Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. And so that is a significant change, and that's extended periods of relief. And we'll look at what this means as we head through the rest of August and September here in a minute or two. But there's just nothing really showing up around the tri-state. There were some showers from Indianapolis southward earlier. They've died out. They were moving to the south, not coming our way. So it's going to be a dry evening, and tomorrow morning's commute will also be dry. And there is that warm front. Okay, that warm front is heading north and eastward. And to the west of this warm front Cape Girardeau, Missouri down here, and of course Jonesboro, Arkansas, a little in that same area. And so this is the hot air that's moving north and eastward. So as that warm front, and all a front is really, it's nothing really special. It's just the boundary between the hot and sticky air and the air over us now. So as this moves north and eastward, the hotter and more humid air continues to move in. Tomorrow morning will be very muggy, and then tomorrow as hot as it's been all summer because of that heat index. So we've had it before, but if you didn't like what we had when we had the real high heat index values, it's coming back for tomorrow. Okay, Hurricane Aaron is still churning up in the Atlantic. It is a Category 4 hurricane. It made it to Category 5, dropped briefly to Category 3, then bounced back up to Category 4. So it's a powerful hurricane with 140 mile an hour sustained winds, gusts to 165 miles an hour. And it is moving northwest at 10 miles an hour. And if we take a look at the track, you can see the track keeps the center of the storm offshore. Now, you may wonder, okay, if the track's got it offshore, it doesn't hit Bermuda, it really doesn't hit, according to this track, it doesn't really hit North Carolina, even though they've evacuated most of the Outer Banks. You might wonder why. So Category 4 storm, 2 a.m. Tomorrow, Wednesday at 2 a.m., 120 miles an hour, a Category 3. Friday at 3 p.m., 100 miles an hour, a Category 2, then down to Category 1 as it moves out over the cooler waters of the North Atlantic. So why did they evacuate the Outer Banks here if the storm is going this way, okay? And, well, here's why. Let's go ahead and take a look at this map. Now the yellow you see there, the yellow is the tropical storm force winds, the red, the hurricane force winds, and you can see right here that the Outer Banks just get grazed by tropical storm force winds. That's sustained at 39 miles an hour. You see it right up there. Okay, now if this track is a little bit off, if it moves a little bit further in, you might have 50 mile an hour sustained winds here. But the wind is not the only factor because the hurricane circulates like this. That'll be onshore winds for quite a while, so you'll have high surf, you'll have beach erosion, you'll have torrential rainfall, everything that you need to get a disaster. And that way, just to avoid that, they're getting all the people out of there before the hurricane comes in, and that's probably the best course of action. But so the track that you saw on there just really defines where the main storm is. But you've got all those feeder bands, and it really is a pretty wide hurricane at this point. So it is definitely going to be a factor along the East Coast, but just mainly North Carolina at the Outer Banks. Tomorrow morning's low temperatures will be in the upper 60s to lower 70s. The forecast heat index tomorrow will make it to 97 degrees at 5 p.m. Now, we're saying over 100, but I mean, I think the hottest part of the day is 2 to 3 to 4 p.m., and so probably over 100 in that area, and a number of spots over 100 for that heat index tomorrow. It's going to be steamy hot. Don't discount how hot it's going to be. And then hourly rain chances for tomorrow look like this. Notice through 10 a.m., 0, 10% by 11 a.m., up to 20% through 4 p.m., then 30 at 5 and 6. And this graph is just showing you what the heat of the day does. Okay, that increases the chance for a few pop-up showers and thunderstorms. Tomorrow, most of us will not see rainfall. It's just going to be hot and steamy, and any place that does get rain, it's just going to make it more humid. So definitely a day when you can't really count on rain being out there. Okay, now the Climate Prediction Center has a big area of cooler than normal weather in the 6 to 10 day outlook. Okay, and you see that the bullseye of that takes in almost the entire Fox 19 Now viewing area. That's out to the 28th of August. So from the 24th to the 28th, we're cooler than normal. If you take a look at their 8 to 14 day outlook, that's the 26th to the 1st of September. The bullseye's not as strong, but you still have that blue, colder than normal for the entire Fox 19 Now viewing area. So we're going to break this heat and end up through the end of August and the beginning of September a bit cooler than normal. And there you see the pattern across the U.S. And we've been talking about that for a while, that it looked like the heat would break and the end of August would probably be cooler than normal. So really, if you're a frequent watcher, it shouldn't be a big surprise to you. Okay, let's take a look at the 10-day rain chances. Okay, Wednesday, that's when a front comes through, so up to 60%. Then Sunday, when the next front comes through, that's 50%. So in other words, what this is saying is a pretty good chance that many of us, if not most of us, will see rain on Wednesday. Friday looks dry. I mean, really, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday all look completely dry. That's good. Saturday, both the Bengals and FC Cincinnati are playing in town. 50% chances that next cold front comes through, and then 10 to 20%, so basically dry, cooler weather coming in as we head into Thursday of next week. All right. Here's your 7-day forecast. High tomorrow, 91. That 91 will be accompanied by high humidity, so the heat index up to about 102 or 3. 71 and 86 for Wednesday with scattered storms, clearing and comfortable Thursday. Doesn't it sound nice, comfy? 85 the high. A mix of sun and clouds Friday and 86, but the low humidity continues. A little bit more sticky on Saturday with a high of 87 as that next front comes our way. So on the warm side of the front, we're going to feel a little bit more humidity. Both the Bengals and FC Cincinnati play. And then Sunday, the front comes our way with scattered thunderstorms. And then look at the high on Monday. A low of 60, a high of 78. The weather looks absolutely gorgeous for Monday. And that's just the beginning of the break that we have coming our way. Because if you look at Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, high temperatures all 3 days in the lower 80s out there. So things are looking really, really nice as we head into late next week. Now, if we take a look at all 14 days on one graph, there you see the highs, there you see the lows. And notice the high temperatures drop below normal starting the 25th and stay below normal through the 1st, just a little bit, not a whole lot. And then low temperatures go below normal and come back to about normal as we head into the 1st. So if you would average all the highs and lows out, that gives us what the maps from the Climate Prediction Center said, cooler than normal through the 1st of September. All right. So let me go ahead and take a look at who we've got watching on Facebook. Okay. And I don't see any comments here at all. What is going on here? Okay. Somebody, once again, everybody has their own special way of looking at looking at their Facebook pages. So I don't see anywhere. Okay, so I don't see anybody commenting at the present time. That might be because of the way this is set up. I'll have to check on whether or not we can fix that. But again, it's looking pretty nice. So let's go ahead and step back a couple of graphics here. Okay, we'll step back a couple of graphics and we will take a look. Let's see, why don't we start with the 6 to 10 day outlook. And let's just start with the heat index values tomorrow, and then we'll go through all the forecasts, and then I'll close it out. Because I'll have to see what's going on with the Facebook page, account page, because it shows nobody making any comments. Although, I guess I could look at my phone. That would be the good way to do it. So let's go ahead and take a look at the forecast heat index. Now this has it at 97 at 5 p.m., but the hottest part of the day is like 2, 3, and 4 p.m. When you consider both the heat and humidity. So in those hours, we more than likely will be seeing heat index values that are around the 100 degree mark or a bit higher. So that, again, tells us that we're in for take it easy day tomorrow, no doubt about that. All right. I'm trying to switch over here as I talk, so if it sounds like I'm preoccupied, I kind of am. Okay, I'm almost there. Okay, now it's letting me go. Okay, well, I don't see it here, so I don't know what's going on. I don't even know if I'm going out live. So if I'm not, I'll have to figure out what's going on, but everything tells me I'm going out live here. So, okay. it's not that. Okay. Well, if you're watching and you're trying to comment, I didn't see any comments on the Facebook page here on the computer, so I'm going to guess that we don't have any. And if you're watching, I hope you enjoyed what you saw. Let's go ahead and finish up what we have as far as the forecast goes. So you see that heat index tomorrow making it up to 97, but in between 1 p.m. and 5 p.m. it should top out at over 100. Hourly rain chances tomorrow, 0 in the morning, and just the slimmest chances we had through the day. And once we get to 5 p.m., when it's the hottest and it has time for all that heat to work into the system, we have just a chance of a pop-up thunderstorm. Climate Prediction Center says chillier than normal through the 28th of the month. And then when you go to the 1st of September, still chillier than normal. And you can see that the big dome of hot, high pressure has kind of been eliminated from the lower 48. All right, so 10-day rain chances. It looks like the greatest chance of rain comes Wednesday with the first cold front that comes through. The next chance of rain comes Sunday with a 50% chance as the more powerful cold front comes through. And then we just drop off to basically 10 to 20%, which is essentially nothing. So your 7-day forecast, a few spotty storms possible tomorrow. Spotty storms on Wednesday with the front. Dry Thursday, Friday, Saturday. A little bit more humid on Saturday. Both the Bengals and FC Cincinnati are playing Saturday in town. Sunday, the stronger cold front comes through, and the high drops to 78 on Monday, and then in the low 80s, which is colder than normal for Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. And here's a summary of the next 14 days. Highs and lows, notice if you compare them to normal, the high temperature drops below normal on the 25th and stays there, but not by a lot, by a little. The low temperature drops below normal and comes back to about normal as we head to the 1st. Okay, that's it for now. Thank you for watching. Sorry if you ask a question and wanted an answer. I just don't see. I'm looking at our Facebook page here on my phone, which is a completely different way of looking at it than, so I don't, oh, wait a minute. No? Okay, so I don't know if it's gone out live or not. If it does, thanks for watching. If it didn't, well, I'll work on it so we get it right next time. That's it for now. Have yourself a nice evening.